The Vajra is the most important ritual implement in Vajrayana Buddhism. In Sanskrit, the word Vajra is defined as something hard or mighty, as in a diamond. It symbolizes an impenetrable, immovable, and indestructible state of knowledge and enlightenment. Our knowledge of the Vajra goes back to deep antiquity. Texts indicate that the Vajra was not always a symbol of peace and tranquility, but something very different. It first appears in ancient India, where it was the primary weapon of the Vedic sky god Indra, the king of the Devas. According to the Hindu Puranas, the evil Asuras Numachi and Vajra removed all of the light and moisture from the earth. It made the land inhospitable to living beings. Indra battled the demon gods unsuccessfully, and as a last resort called upon their supreme god Vishnu for help. Vishnu informed him that only a weapon that was neither solid nor liquid could kill the demon serpents. Vishnu had the divine carpenter fashion Indra a marvelous weapon he could use to vanquish them. The new weapon, the Vajra, emitted thunderbolts. With it, Indra annihilated the dreadful Asuras and returned the much-needed light and moisture back to the earth. The Vajra, when used, was thrown at one's opponent. Nitin Kumar, in his article, Ritual Implements in Tibetan Buddhism, tells us, as a hurled weapon, the indestructible thunderbolt blazed like a meteoric fireball across the heavens, and a maelstrom of thunder, fire, and lightning. Traditional images of the Vajra depict it as a metal shaft with 1, 3, 5, or 9 prongs that emanate from a lotus blossom on either end. Originally, according to the ancient Indian text, the Rig Veda, when Indra used his Vajra, it had open prongs. Buddhist legend suggests that the Buddha himself took the Vajra from Indra and forced its prongs closed, thus transforming it from a destructive weapon into a peaceful scepter. Scholars contend that there is no relationship between Indian, Greek, Australian, Norse, and the cosmology of the Americas. They believe that each civilization conceived of their gods independently and that a deeper, older, and universal tradition does not exist. If this were the case, then the foundation of these societies, their myths, traditions, beliefs, and iconography should be unique to them, their location, and their history. The tales of war, intrigue, and conquest that come out of American history are vastly different from those of England, France, India, and China. So too are the customs, traditions, and symbols that represent the nation. When we look at a wide range of ancient and indigenous groups, a pattern of commonality exists. Myths and symbols found in India readily appear in the oral and written descriptions of other cultures. They also appear in their artistic images. These representations seem to transcend time and location. The symbol of thunder, or a thunderbolt, as a tool of destruction, for example, surfaces in many ancient civilizations. Mythology unfailingly associates lightning with the sky god, the god of thunder, who uses it as a weapon. In the Western world, the thunderbolt is most readily associated with the Greek sky god Zeus. With it, he defeated the Titans and took control of the Greek pantheon. Myth tells us that Zeus freed the Cyclops, the master builders, who were imprisoned in the depths of the underworld, Tartarus. In gratitude for their release, they gave him a marvelous weapon, the Thunderbolt. In another story, Zeus used his formidable weapon to battle the largest and most fearsome creature in all of Greek mythology, the 100-headed serpent, Typhon. Early images of Zeus depict him holding a rod-like thunderbolt, while others show this deadly weapon with its ends splayed into 3 prongs. A Vajra-like weapon also appears in Sumerian cosmology. Its use is recorded in the Babylonian epic of creation, the Enuma Elish. A battle between the sky god Marduk and the serpent Tiamat is detailed on the 4th tablet of this ancient document. The evil and powerful Tiamat, according to the Enuma Elish, was devising treacherous plans against Ea and the other reigning gods. The gods were afraid to invoke her evil wrath and search for a solution. Ea attempts to confront Tiamat, but instead of fighting, backs down. Marduk, his son, steps forward and volunteers to fight the enraged serpent on one condition. If he is successful, he will have dominion over the entire universe. The gods agree and provide Marduk mighty weapons including a bow, a mace, and a net to use in his battle against Tiamat. Images of this epic scene show Marduk holding a 3-tipped scepter in his hand. Subsequent images clearly depict the same deadly 3-pronged weapon. The Rig Veda also offers an alternative description of the Vajra. Some texts represent it as a notched metal club with thousands of prongs. We find this form of the Vajra in numerous other cultures. The most well-known stories that portray the Vajra in its club-like form come from Norse cosmology. They are associated with the sky god Thor. His mighty hammer was the most fearsome weapon in Norse mythology. Images of the thunder god Thor traditionally show him carrying his mighty hammer. Some texts refer to it as a hammer, while others refer to it as an axe or club. The master builders, the dwarfs in the depths of the earth, made it. The Norse Snorri Edda describes it as a hammer that would not fail. As a weapon, it could level mountains. It goes on to state that if aimed at anything, it would never miss its target. It informs us that in addition to never missing its target, it would always find its way back to the hand of its owner. Thor used his mighty hammer to battle his deadliest foe, the giant Midgard Serpent. In these tales, the serpent was not killed. It would not be until near the end of the world that Thor would clash with the Midgard Serpent the final time. In Slavic mythology, we learn of the evil serpent Veles who ascends from the underworld and steals something of value to the sky god Peron. Peron, using lightning bolts, would banish Veles back to his underground realm annually. His deadly axe, like Thor's mighty hammer, was used to subdue evil and overcome the iniquitous serpent Veles. It too would return to his hand after being thrown. In Irish mythology, the magical weapon of the hero of Ulster is the Gay Bolga, or lightning spear. The Gay Bolga is described as a dart or spear which separates into multiple barbs when entering the body, causing fatal wounds. It was next to impossible to withdraw it once it had impaled the body. In China, the legend of Hao Hu Tao devours Yang Chen describes a magical spike carried by Hang Tian Hu, which sounds remarkably similar to Indra's Vajra. The Qin Kang, deprived of their magical weapons, began to lose heart. To complete their discomfiture, Hang Tian Hu brought to the attack a matchless magical weapon. This was a spike 7.5 inches long, enclosed in a silk sheath, and called Heart Piercer. It projected so strong a ray of light that eyes were blinded by it. Hang Tian-hu, hard-pressed by Mo Li-ching, drew the mysterious spike from its sheath and hurled it at his adversary. It entered his neck, and with a deep groan, the giant fell dead. Myth and Legends of China. Finding myths with similar storylines and their corresponding images in relatively close geographic areas, while interesting, does not fully support the universality of the gods. When we uncover similar narratives with corresponding imagery in remote regions of the world, this concept takes on a more serious tone. Myths of a Vajra-like weapon are found all over the world. In Australia, the sky gods, the Wati Kujara brothers, wielded a magical boomerang, woomerang, or club. Boomerangs are known for their ability, once thrown, to return to their owner. Legend states that their father, Kadili, attempted to rape some of the first women. Throwing their woomerang, they castrated their father, where he disappeared into a watering hole. In the New World, we encounter a similar deadly lightning weapon used by the sky gods. In the Aztec culture, there is the god Huitzilopochtli. Huitzilopochtli, with his magical weapon, the fire serpent, killed his sister, Coholxauhqui, soon after he was born. The Mayan rain deity Chac and the later Aztec Tlaloc are both depicted carrying their lightning axe. Sometimes they are depicted holding snakes, which represented lightning bolts, which they would hurl from the mountaintops where they made their retreat. In Peru, we find the god Iapa, who is described as a man wielding a club in his left hand and a sling in his right. A variation of the lightning motif is the concept of thunderstones. It is believed that thunderstones fall from the sky when the gods are battling each other. This idea is widely held throughout Africa. The Yoruba of southeast Nigeria, for example, believe their axe-carrying storm god Shangi creates lightning and thunder and casts thunderstones down to earth. The elders of this culture would search wherever lightning struck for these magical stones. The thunder-producing weapon, the Vajra, is only one example of the enormous numbers of commonalities found in myth, legends, culture, and iconography around the world. Similarities exist throughout Greek, Sumerian, Norse, Aztec, Australian, and American cosmology. These parallels include the gods, their lives, and their amazing weapons. It also includes the laws and customs that govern our lives, the very fabric of society. The commonality of symbolism found around the world implies something else. Weapons like the Vajra were not born from the imagination of man. They did not come into being as part of a culture's evolution. They were real. They were tangible. Someone, somewhere in our remote past saw it and documented it. It is only through an actual encounter with a marvelous weapon that emitted thunder that a clear and specific portrayal could have been made. Likewise, if tools like the Vajra are genuine, then we are forced to accept that the gods who wielded these weapons were factual individuals as well. This newfound knowledge would open the door to a revolutionary new understanding of who we are. It would challenge the basis of our society and could cause us to reevaluate not only our place in the universe, but everything we hold to be true.